Alright, I'm Aaron, straight A student in Kungsholmen Gymnasium, always loving up life. And if you are constantly striving to improve, if you live a life of self-improvement with many different pursuits, then journaling is one of the most auspicious things you can do, bro. This is one of the things that is not very talked about, and I'm gonna share the crazy benefits of journaling ever since I was 15, and the most effective way to do so throughout my experimentation. And in the next 6 or 7 minutes or so, I guarantee that by the end of it, you will have like a new outlook on life. And then we'll realize how many days you've missed out on by not journaling. So why do we want to journal? Why do we want to write down what happens every single day? Well, it's first and foremost to document our lives. If you are living like a life of self-improvement where you're actively loving up life, you're hitting the gym, you're studying, you're working on your side hustle or whatever, right? You probably lived through many different things and you're experiencing many pains or struggles. And if you just document them, you can imagine, right? 5-year-old self in the future, like when you're 10 years down the line, you'll look back at these days and you will have like hard evidence, hard fact that you went through all these. In 5-10 years, you're going to be more successful, right, bro? So you'll be able to see the journey in front of your own eyes with like hard paper evidence. And if you don't do this, the days kind of just get lost in like the sands of time. Like right now you're here, right? If you look back at like the few months or years that you've been on self-improvement, or even before that, you kind of don't know where all those days went. It's just like a blur of time. Whilst if you do daily journal entries, which is what I recommend, you will realize that every single day now holds like a specific value. Like each day something happened, and each day you have some writing from that day. So you have like clear visual cues that they existed, And one really great thing that you can get from all these journal entries, like it only takes like a few weeks to build up, and that also will get you like enough momentum. You will be able to see how many constraints you have in your life. Because if every day you journal and you see like a repetitive thing that's happening, like let's say you notice that each day when you come home from school, there's just some time that like between the slots of 6 and 8 p.m. you just don't do any work. Maybe you find out that that's a constraint, like I did, like a similar one. So then you would work on fixing that. It's little things like this that go by unnoticed as we are kind of, unaware as we go through life. And journaling and documenting everything is not only good for our future self, for memories and documentation and stuff, but also for our present selves, so we can improve better and more auspiciously. Like let's say like randomly you realize you're completely falling off self-improvement. Like you stop hitting the gym, you start getting worse and worse grades, your social skills goes down, you just kind of become kind of like this autistic little boy. Then what you can do is that you'll be able to look back at these entries these past few weeks or whatever, and you'll be able to see like the change between the writing style between before you fell off to where you are now, and you can see what changed. One thing that you must keep constant though is to keep writing these daily journal entries, no matter how or no matter what happened that day. And even if, like, let's say something really great happened one day, like something immensely beautiful that you don't even know, like if you didn't write it down, it would be hard to believe it. You can see, right, if something super awesome and fantastic happened that day, your future self will be able to look back at hard evidence that in fact happened. That it's not something that maybe happened, maybe it didn't, maybe it's like some other way. You have clear hard evidence, and that I think is one of the most powerful things of journal entries. If you didn't know already, like we are like living in the good old days of the future. Like, we say right now like the good old days of like 2016, 2017, whatever, right? Maybe for some of you it's like 2020. We say like, we used to just chill with the boys and life was simple and there were no worries and stuff. But what we don't realize is that now are the good old days of later. I already made like a whole video on it here. I can like link that down below and later. Like your future self will just be able to look back and reminisce at how you were when you were like, I don't know, 16, 17, 18, however old you are. And bro, I have built up like a year's worth of journal entry now. And let me tell you, bro, it's so fulfilling. Like I can look back, like you can give me any date between like January 2024 to January 2025, and I can give you exactly what happened that day. It's like, I don't know if this ability matters much, but I do this journaling thing for myself. It's not for any monetary gain. It's not to like show off or flex. It's just for you and your future self. And bro, trust me, the feeling you get when you like build up only a couple of weeks of daily journal entries and you just scroll back, it'll be fucking awesome. And then think if you build up like a year's worth of dedicated daily journal entries. There are some other benefits to this also, like it gives you a very disciplined thing to do consistently, where you have to just write a daily journal entry every single day, consistent, no skips, no breaks. If you miss a day, then you write it in the morning the next day. It's like one constant thing that you can stick to for the rest of your life, in fact. And as your life changes, as stuff happens in your life, it all comes down into these journal entries, and then you can look back and contemplate and stuff on how life went and reflect. And that's the power of these journal entries. It also will improve your English. I mean, before I started writing this stuff, my English wasn't that good. I mean, it was alright, it was like relatively good, but now it has improved a lot. You can just ask my friends, and I know much more hard words, and I can just write better, simply, just because I do these journal entries. It's like a benefit that I didn't even know that I would get, that I ended up getting over after the first few months of doing it. I just realized that, oh shit, my English is much better now. And so if you are maybe English is not your first language, or you are not that good at your writing or your storytelling abilities in English, and you want to improve your grade in that, then daily journaling is another very good thing that you could do. So it's really fucking cool to have every single day of your life just documented and there in raw format. So how exactly do you do it? Through my experimentation, I found a certain framework that I use to do daily journals every day, and all you have to sacrifice is just 10 to 15 minutes every single day. So first, where do you do it? You can perhaps use an app Day One is the popular one that I've heard from, I think, Ali Abdal. He uses Day One for journaling. You can use that, which is a journal specific app, or you can use something like Notion, which is what I use. I have a template, it's linked down below if you want to get it, but you can easily make your own where it's a calendar view and you just write your daily journals in there. If you already use Notion and you have everything in one place in Notion, then that's the best option there. And when to do it, I do it in the evenings or night after school and after the day has happened, so that I can write it and it's still fresh. I don't leave it for the next day or whatever, or I try not to, but sometimes it does happen. So make sure you just write it when it's still fresh, so you can write it detailed. And there's no need to spend more than 30 minutes max on this, depending on what happened that day, from 10 to 30 minutes is all you kind of need. And yeah, bro, start writing journal entries. That's all I just want to say today. As always, man, your potential is only limited by your intention. And I'll see you later, man. Take care, bro.